All right, let's get started. I'm Lori Gunning Grossman. I am here with Hold the Light Collective. I'm the founder of Hold the Light. What is Hold the Light Collective? It's an umbrella space where within it, I create workshops and courses and classes and community. And I write all in the space of spiritual growth, personal development, honestly, checking in with our most meaningful life and tapping into our authenticity. So that ties into what I want to talk about today, which is I'm going to tell you guys straight up it's the Freedom Transmissions. Why? Fully transparent. I am doing a class, an 8-session course on this starting on Wednesday at 9 a.m. PST. And let me just ask you guys a question, because this is what I've posed about the Freedom Transmissions before. I have said, if you guys had a avenue, a roadmap that could give you greater feelings of patience, less judgment, greater peace, balance, joy 100%, connection, less reactivity, um, less anger, where we're actually really working on ourselves through it. What would you say? Would you be like, oh my God, what is this magic pill? It's not a magic pill. It is through a lot of this work that I do, which is the Freedom Transmissions. And I'm talking about it because I am doing this session coming up. And I'm digging in with some beautiful women in community. Some people are like, what is this book? Why do you keep doing these things around the book? I've done several 8-session book studies around it. I'm in this 6-month study around it. And just when I think I'm done, and I've done a whole podcast series, and just when I'm like, and I'm done, something just calls me back in. It's like Al Pacino in The Godfather, who's like, just when I thought it was out, they pull me back in. And nobody is pulling me back in, but this work pulls me back in time and time again, because it's been so meaningful. My life has changed. How I feel about myself has changed and elevated. The way I feel in my day to day is different than it was before I started reading this book, probably about 5 years ago. And so that's why I talk to people about it. That's why I do these studies around it and I teach it. Here's what I've really have been hearing from a lot of people right now, that things are shifting and that old ways of pushing and fixing, improving just aren't working the way they used to. Also, astrology is hot on this topic right now. And I don't know astrology except I just listen to it. You guys can go find it here on Substack or on Instagram about this energy that's happening right now, how old structures are crumbling. And it is more about inner sovereignty, inner authority, no experts outside of us, no gurus outside of us. And that's why I love this book, because this is what I'm learning. I'm learning greater inner sovereignty through it. There's not one thing or person or anything to follow. It's learning how to follow ourselves and deepen our intuition and let our inner selves be the guides. So basically, this book is building that inner foundation. And the other thing that I love is that it is an invitation to place our faith, our trust in the unknown, and strengthening that muscle more and more and more. So we're not just living in fear all the time. Who wants to do that? Nobody wants to do that. So this book, this little baby right here, it's for people who feel like the world is changing, their own world, the outer world, right? And again, just I already know that the old ways of living in fear and pushing and just being scared and in judgment, it's not working. So this book is not about becoming someone new. It's just letting go of what isn't ours anymore. And it's learning to live from greater peace and clarity and having new perspectives and knowing ourselves better. And also, quite frankly, believing in knowing that we are not just humans, flesh, blood, and bones walking around just with our egos and our minds, that we are in connection with something greater than ourselves. You guys can call it whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It could be the divine, it could be infinite intelligence, great consciousness. Um, some people say God. I know that I think is a trigger for some people. And or it could just be Gaia, Mother Earth, whatever it is. It's just knowing that we are connected. So what's coming out of all of this is like super grounded and it's super practical. It's like if you're ready to unburden yourself from like inner criticism and judgment and a judgment of self and others, and if you're ready to let go of inherited beliefs that we've taken on from other people about ourselves, or constant shoulds. I should be doing it this way. I should be doing it that way. It's like, ladies, we're letting that go now. We are laying down those swords that are keeping us stuck in us at a certain point. It's like, and if you are in midlife like me, I'm like, listen up, time's a ticking here. I don't want to waste it worried so much about what others are thinking about me or if I'm doing things right, or like thinking about the regrets I might have at the end of my life because I was too scared to try something or to be in a new way or to um, let a relationship go or to say goodbye to a friendship or a job or to move or to whatever it is that you feel in your heart of hearts that you want to embrace. It's like let's do this. So, there are a lot of us in this midlife for a long time who have been striving and proving and ready to let that down. So this course that I do and have been doing, it's for spiritual seekers, it's for people who are curious, who want something that is just grounded and rooted in discernment because and then living the experience. This is not dogma. This is not religious. This is not a fix yourself book. Um, this is not about escapism. There's no spiritual hierarchy in here. It's really an individual journey and process. So, what do we talk about? We talk about that we are in collaboration with, let's just call it source, divine source. You could call it spirit. And it wants to know itself through us and it wants to know itself through experiences and through what we live. So, how do we how do we know what kind of experiences we really want to be bringing forward? We got to know ourselves, you know? So, we're not trying to fix ourselves. We're just trying to remember ourselves, relearn about ourselves that perhaps maybe like we've forgotten along the way. Like what actually lights you up? And how do you want to be spending your time? Do you want to do it in ways that you feel like are pleasing others? Or maybe you're afraid to say something because you might get judgment or you might disappoint people. That stuff is just like it's no longer sustainable. So this book just talks about, we are these like major creators. Life is meant for creation, which is like so fun to think about. Doesn't mean you have to go paint or like, I don't know, do something like with sculpting. It's like we are creating our life. We are like these amazing creators. And we've got these collaborators that are like, with this kind of, this greater thing that's outside of ourselves, this greater source and force is like, let's do this thing, let's create it. So yeah, so again, this book is not about trying to be someone new. Um, you're just remembering like who you are underneath all the conditioning of life. And so we go through this. I go through this with everybody. The 8 session one is an overall thing. It's like a bird's eye view. And I've already done it and I'm like adding even more to it. But we are looking at like essence, like who are you really? Who are we really underneath um, like the supposed to self. We talk about balance. We talk about clarity, perception. How are we seeing things? We talk about choices. Uh, we talk about like what are we planting in this world? What kind of legacy do we want to lead? Um, and there's like a renewal to this, and there's embodiment to this. It's like embodiment of being that version of living freedom. So by the end of all of this, we're not just talking about the book. We're not just talking about like, ideas outside of ourselves. We start to live it. Like, this is what this is all about. Start to live like your authentic self. Start to live like you are that person who is coming more from balance and peace and freedom and joy, so that we are not out there putting our own personal burdens upon others in the world. I think we all see that. We see what that looks like and we know what that feels like. And so we are responsible adults here, and we have a responsibility to be good stewards of our energy and who we are and what we're putting out in the world, because the old ripple effect. And so this is what we do here. Now, this is also this is why I think I keep coming back to this, because this is like I need daily reminders. I need minute to minute reminders, because I get knocked out. I'm human. I get in my car, live in Los Angeles, I get into traffic, and I can get like really really mad at someone, and it's like then we're knocked out. So, but through doing this, we have practices to remember how to get back in the pocket. So, this book is the foundation. Now, there's going to be some other books that come out in this series. There's a new one coming out this September called The Alchemy Transmissions, and this book here, the Freedom Transmissions, is the foundation. Everything else expands upon it. But we no, we don't got to. We don't you don't have to do anything. You guys can do whatever you wanna do. And if you are someone who's like, "I'm ready for I'm ready, like, to feel more like myself. I'm ready to feel more like I'm connected. I'm ready to feel like not everything is happening to me, and I'm really tapping into my own self and my own inner guide and leading this, like, super amazing, beautiful life that we have." If we're not seeing it as a super beautiful, amazing life, I know that there are circumstances that I can't speak to for everybody, and I can't even pretend to, but there are ways to bring more of that feeling. If you're not feeling that, there are ways to bring more of this into our lives. Um, and I'll also say this, it goes into grief here. It goes into grief. It goes into beginnings and endings, and how to kind of move through all of this, how to perhaps have a perspective of things. As we're still being human and having human feelings, we're working on balancing this. So this is just like internal alignment. Um, it's that reminder that peace is not outside of us. It's not something we're waiting for. It's just a practice that we are returning to. And so this gives us that support. And, you know, I'm gonna put this out on my Substack. Maybe I'll put it out with this video, but the era that we're living in is super polarizing. We know this. And from what I've been hearing from, let's just say, like spiritual guides and such, that this is a really terrible time to be making choices from fear. We don't want to be making choices from fear right now. Um, we really want to get into that pocket of faith and trust and love as much as possible. That's what it's all about. They're like it's like we got two choices, guys. We can come from a place of faith, or we can come from a place of fear. You can say trust. If you want to say trust instead of faith, you can say that. So, it's like what's energizing us? What are we putting out there? Um that is it. That's I just wanted to pop on because I think sometimes people are like, what the heck is this book about? Maybe it sounds weird to you. It is channeled. It's a channeled book. just go with it. Go with it if you want to. Um, and if you don't want to, that's totally fine too. But if you are curious about it, and if you can accept the idea that this is not about religion, this is about how do I want to create a life where I feel like really aligned with myself. I feel authentic. Um, I feel like I'm tapped into something. I feel more joy and gratitude. And when I don't, I I have the tools to get back into that pocket faster, quicker. So that's it, guys. This is it. I think it's backwards, the Freedom Transmissions, not sure. But listen to me. If you guys are interested at all in this, I start another 8 session book study this Wednesday, and it's going to go 8 weeks. Boom, 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 boom. It's going to be so good. I have the nicest people in this community. Thank you, Stephanie, for your hearts. I have the nicest people, women in this community. I can't even believe it. I can believe it, actually. Something's happening. We are pulling in like the most delightful, lovely, curious, interesting, um, open hearted. Digging into, like really curious about digging into their lives and not being complacent, and we're like, this is the community that's coming together. So come and join. You guys can, how would we do this? Let's see. I guess here's how you do it. Just like GM me here on Substack. You can also send me an email at Lori at holdthelightcollective.com. My name is spelled Laurie. Send me an email. If you have questions, I will hop on a Zoom with you. I'll hop on a call with you. And if it's not this one, there's going to be, perhaps there will be more in the future. Anyway, love y'all, whoever is listening now in the future. Thank you, Stephanie, Lisa, Rita. Let's go, ladies. Thank you for joining. And I'll see you. I'll see you in the Zooms around the internet, on the Instagram, all of the places. Come say hi to me on Instagram, Lori.gunning.grossman. And let's create our most beautiful lives together. Let's support each other. Let's do this. Let's be cheerleaders. Okay. See you later. Bye, everyone.